$8 short around this piece. All right. We almost got it. Almost got it started. All right, good. We're good. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to This and That. I'm your host, Sander, where we're talking about this, that, and everything in between. And today we're going to be talking about ways to declutter your house. These are some little short, intricate life hacks on a really long podcast tonight because we're supposed to start at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and 5 Pacific, and we started at 9:16 now, so we're like 20 minutes late. It's all right. We're getting in here the best that we can. Yeah, before I even go into the topic, I didn't even get the modem yet. So they sent us a modem last week, Friday night, and they sent us a modem yesterday night. So we got two modems in the mail right now. We still got the old modem that's not working. We still streaming off of a cell phone right now. So we're in archaic mode right now. But at least so far, we're not dealing with very many negative responses from the upload speed of the cell phone hotspotting the service to the laptop in order for us to stream this information to the network. So it is crazy. That we had a wild day today. We had issues with logging into stuff. We had issues with getting access to stuff. We disputes going. You know, it's been a terrible day. I tell you. We are still trying to maintain. So managed to maintain. We still got the shorts popping up on Twitter. We got TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. We're making sure that all the shows are running public over there. So, you know, you guys can enjoy the show in different areas. I'm trying to figure out how I can take some of these shorts and upload them onto Twitch so that we can have us a nice collaboration reel on Twitch. I haven't really gotten that far yet. Once I figure out how to get these things uploaded on the Twitch where we can keep things going, then we'll be able to move with great speed. But until then, make sure that you guys like and subscribe. Hit that follow button for TikTok, and then over here to the right side. Also, if you guys were to click that link, it'll take you over to YouTube, where you'll be able to subscribe to the channel. The majority of our stuff is on a YouTube because we are a YouTube platform. Also, you have the ability to, on TikTok, you guys got the ability to request invite onto the show so that you can speak live and in person. So we encourage that. We try to keep it appropriate. I know that there are some trollers that realize, I can dive into live podcast and I can mass out of myself and disrupt the podcast, and degrading and devaluing themselves as entertaining. It's not entertaining to me, but you know, some people really get a kick out of that. So, you know, I vet it. You have to be over the age of 18 to be on the podcast. Even if you're doing shout outs to your friends and family members, you know, I prefer that you do shout outs to your friends and family members than to get up here and deliberately embarrass yourself. None of us are Steve-O, and you're not getting millions of dollars to embarrass yourself on a live podcast, because it doesn't make me look bad, but it does make you look bad. And I'm not the type of podcast to deliberately make somebody look bad. I call them how I see them. I try to be uniform about everything. But if you do stupid stuff, I'm going to call it stupid. So, you know, you as a person are not necessarily stupid for doing stupid things, in my opinion. You as a person are just a person that makes heavily bad choices. And you should probably change the way that you make your choices. So with this podcast, we try to give you guys ways, tips, and tricks on how to change your mentality, change your focus, and increase your drive so that you can make better decisions in the future. And by making better decisions in the future, you can become more successful. With that, today's show, we're talking about decluttering your house. Why is that important? Well, first of all, you feel shitty when you're in a cluttered house. No matter how clean the house can feel. The fact is that if the house is overly cluttered with stuff, the house still doesn't look clean. You've got, when you first move into a house, everything has its place. But the longer that you live in a specific house or an apartment, the more stuff that you get and the less places that you have for things. One of the habits that I tried to develop when I first moved into a place is to make sure that it has a place before I put it in my house. So the only things in my house that technically I run out of space for at this point should be all of my suits, because I got a lot of them, and you hang those up. But if you're able to put stuff into storage bins and other things like that, you can actually consolidate a lot of your stuff, and then you would be able to have more places for your clothes, where your clothes could still be primarily in the closet. You would just have to make sure that you organize it more efficiently and more effectively. There's a lot of other stuff throughout the house that's cluttered all over the place, and ideally, the expectation is to find more places for more stuff, so that you can keep the stuff that you want to keep, but then throw away the stuff that you don't use and don't have a place for, or give it away or sell it, pawn it, put it up on eBay, put it up on Facebook Marketplace, something. If you can sell it and make a buck off of it, even if it's not what you paid for it when you first got it, if you can sell it and get rid of it, you can make a little bit of money off of something while you make a space in your house. So that's the first life hack right here, decluttering your house. Still in reasonable condition that you would otherwise throw into the trash if you didn't keep it in your house. You take pictures of it. You can put it up on Facebook Marketplace. You can put it up on eBay. There are websites that allow you to sell used or gently used items in local markets and other larger apps that allow you to sell stuff across the world, where you have to ship it and other stuff to that effect. So I encourage you to look into those apps if you're trying to declutter yourself. It's a lot more effective than having a garage sale at your house, because if you put this stuff up online and you sell it, you might have to respond to a few dozen text messages where people are going to ask you stupid questions about it. They're going to, no matter how low you put the price, somebody's going to try to ask you for a lower price. Even if you put final offer on there, they're still going to try to haggle with you. So, that part is going to be stressful when you're trying to sell something. But if you're just trying to get rid of it, you can throw it away, you can pawn it, but get it out of your house. You could donate it to Goodwill, get you a voucher for your donation to Goodwill, use that as a tax write-off. If all else fails, give it to Goodwill, because they will give you a voucher for it that provides you with a reasonably higher value to it than what you probably would have gotten selling it bootleg on the internet and then having to pay to ship it to somebody. So one way or another, find a use for it, or find a way to make money for you. Now, when we start talking about ways to go about decluttering your house, the first thing you have to do is you have to start organizing stuff. So room by room, and sometimes you got a lot of stuff in one room. So you want to start with the room with the least amount of stuff in it. And in that room, you want to take everything that doesn't have its place out of that room. Because you're going to have the room you're working on and the other room that's holding your stuff. You take everything out of that room that doesn't already have a place. Then you go through the stuff that you took out of the room that doesn't have a place, determine its value, if it's worth keeping. This is going to be hard to do for hoarders, because they're going to find a value in everything that they've got. But for somebody that's rationally and logically going to look at this, it's like, well, I haven't touched this in several years. There's no sentimental value with it. I just have it because I haven't gotten rid of it. It doesn't matter why you got it. If I have it and I just haven't gotten rid of it, if it's not from an ex-girlfriend or something to that effect, where you should really get rid of it in that situation. If it is just something that you had bought, you thought you were going to use it, or you did use it, and then after a while you stopped utilizing it, it doesn't have value to you anymore. You want to set that aside to be either thrown away or sold. And then everything else that you have value up to, you want to then go back into that room and find a place to put it. Now, when you're finding a place to put it, most people try to put everything into their closet. They try to stack stuff to the ceiling in their closet. They stack stuff in their attics, and it just stores the stuff. But it doesn't actually keep in your house the stuff that is of value. So you want to go through these things and then determine, what will I keep that I will actually use, which means that you have to put it where you can get it. So yeah, you can put it in the closet on the shelf. You can put it into a bin, but you put it where you can get it. Now, starting off with your closet, instead of having a closet with clothes thrown all over the place, You get storage bins, you get vacuum seal bags. You do not overstuff the vacuum seal bags. You use the vacuum seal bags to itemize things. And my recommendation with this particular life hack would be to take each one of the bags and have themed apparel in that bag. And what do I mean by that? Well, sweaters, there should be a vacuum seal bag of just sweaters. If you're going to have like t-shirts or button-down shirts for the summer, you want to have only that in that bag. If you're going to have dress shirts, you want to have only that in that bag. If you're going to organize it by season, you want to have the same season in that bag. And the reason why you're going to do that is because when you vacuum seal the bag and you suck all the air out of it and you shrink it, you're going to put it into a storage bin. You're going to put the storage bin into your closet. You're not going to fuck with that until you're ready to pull that out, which means that if you're only going to wear those clothes like 3 months out of the year and you're no longer wearing those clothes, you want to take that stuff, put it into a vacuum seal bag, put it into that bin, put it away until the season that you wear that is about to approach. This is where the term spring cleaning comes from. Because if you're a seasonal person where you actually only wear certain stuff certain times of the year, which not only prolongs the longevity of your stuff, it also allows you to always have a fresh look instead of wearing the same outfit year in and year out, or the same sequence of outfits year in and year out, because you might have like 30 days worth of clothes if you're one of those people, and whatever I saw you with last month, I'm gonna see you with this month. But if you're the kind of person that has more than that, you might see certain stuff certain times of the year and other stuff you won't see until this time next year. Now, with that being said, the term spring cleaning, you're throwing away stuff that you don't need to keep anymore, but you're taking all of your winter stuff, you're packing it up, putting it away, and then you're taking out your spring stuff when you're doing spring cleaning. Now, we're in the fall, we're getting ready for winter. So the reverse is actually about to happen. So with the advice that I'm giving you today, you would start packing up all of your summer stuff. So your bathing suits, your swim trunks for guys, your scuba gear, all that stuff, you're packing that stuff up now because it's going to start getting cold. You might keep some summer gear out, some fall and spring gear out because it's not completely cold. So it's still got a little bit of temperature. A month. Oh, there goes a glitch. And it still is able to get cool in the evening time. So you might keep some short sleeves and stuff like that lying around. But the primary portion of stuff that you used to have, like everything you would have wore to the beach, all that stuff, you're packing that stuff up right now. You're starting to pull out your sweaters. You're starting to pull out your cardigans. You're starting to pull out your long johns and your really long knee-high socks. You're starting to pull out your heat warmers. So as you're rotating stuff out, you want to put everything that you're no longer going to be using come October, November, December. You want to start putting that stuff away. You pack all of that stuff. If you get those, I grabbed a 65-gallon storage bin with wheels on it. Got it from Walmart for like $20. They're technically like $50 or $60. I love going to Walmart when they're busy. And the reason why I love going to Walmart when they're busy is because human error allows lazy people to just throw stuff anywhere. They do not pay attention to the prices on the shelves more often than not. And if you're lucky, you can walk into Walmart and then make sure that you don't touch shit. You either walk in there and take a screenshot of it before you go touch it, or you record yourself walking up to the item and you can see between your video camera and them running back their security footage to make sure you didn't do that on purpose, that they had the shit in the wrong spot when you walked up, and you are guaranteed to get it at whatever the price tag is. So if it's a $150 item, but it is sitting in front of a sticker that says $24.99, buy the whole fucking set. You know why? Because if it is a $150 item and it's marked at $24 and you were buying the whole set because of the price, they're going to sell you. They should sell you the whole set. That everything that you're grabbed off the shelf under the interpretation that that is the price, because the law requires them to market the accurate price. And if they market the inaccurate price, it is in favor of the customer. Then what you can do is take the ones that you don't need and put them up on eBay, put them up on Marketplace, and sell them for like 70% of what they're worth at Walmart, where you would then make a 25% profit because you bought it at 25% of what it was worth and you're marking it up 3 times what you paid for it, which is still a third of what they're or 2/3 of what they're selling it for, which also means that the situation is going to be in your favor. So you might buy 3 or 4 of them. You only needed 1 or 2 of them, and you sell 1 or 2 of them and get back the money that you paid for the 2. Hey, you're making money. So I'm always telling you guys ways to make money for you. Now, beyond that, you get the really big one. Don't get the small ones, because the small ones ain't shit. If you got a lot of clothes, if you got a lot of stuff, you want to get the really, really big ones, because the really big ones can fit long ways. They can stack on top of one another. And or if you clamp them down and then put like a zip tie support around it, you can stand it up against the wall, and it'll look like a walk-in closet, but it'll still keep your stuff secured. Now, reason why I tell you that is because if you do that, you'll free up your closet space, which means that any shelves that were not visible because you had a whole closet full of stuff hung up, that stuff will give you the ability to put things on the shelf. This gives you the opportunity to look at everything that was on the shelf that you couldn't see, and then mesh that with the things that, with the shelf space that you now have. You take the stuff off of the shelf that you don't have value in, you put that in the I'm going to get rid of it pile, and then you start going into the everything that got removed out of the room pile and start finding places for it on the shelf. This is going to be the first step. You organize your closet. You want to organize your closet so that if you have doors on your closet or sliding doors, whatever the case may be, that you could close the closet door completely. If you cannot fit it in the closet and close the closet door, it doesn't fit in the closet. It doesn't belong in the closet. Now, next, if you don't give a shit what kind of bed frame you have, what kind of bed set you have, for those of you that still have more stuff, we're still in the bedroom right now. I just grabbed the bedroom just for the sake of, and coming to think about it, there are bed frames that have shelves on, that have drawers on them. Like you can pull a drawer out and you can put more clothes and stuff in there under the bed. Phenomenal. Get one. We got them on Temu. I got links on the primary YouTube channel, links to Temu, where you click the link and go to Temu and buy you a bed, and they actually got discounts through that link where you could get the bed on the cheap, and you could probably get you $100 to $300 bed frame that comes with, I do believe it was either 4 or 6, because it was 2 or 3 on each side of the bed, one on the left side, one on the right side, and that gives you like 4 to 6 drawers that you could put a bunch of stuff in under your bed, which is good for those ladies that have like extra hideables that doesn't fit in a nightstand. You can put it in a drawer under the bed. But the other thing is that your night clothes can be there, your bed linen can be there, extra blankets can be there, which is stuff that you probably would have put into the giant storage bin in your closet. You can instead put that under the bed, because when you go to change your bed clothes, you pull a drawer out under the bed, you pull out your extra sheets, pull out your extra blankets, you can change out your bed, and then because this is easily accessible, if you get a stain on your bed sheets, you get a stain on your blankets, you don't have to go into your closet and take everything out just to go grab one extra blanket. Likewise, if you have company, if you've got this mattress, this bed set that I'm talking about, and like I said, it's only a couple $100 for this bed frame, and they have it in twins and fulls and queens, kings, you just get it. If you have the extra blankets and extra sheets and all this other stuff in the little drawers under the bed, if you get company coming over, you can literally just go in your bedroom and grab an extra blanket and bring it to them, and you don't have to worry about, oh, I got to go pull all the stuff out so that I can bring them extra blankets. See what I'm saying? So this organizational skill helps you actually be more accommodating to your guests. If you have guests that stay the night, I typically don't like people coming over to my house, much less staying overnight. So when they do come over, I don't plan on you staying overnight. But for the sake of, I'm not mean to the magnitude where I'm going to make you leave. If you just so happen to fall asleep while you're at my house, I have extra blankets for people who were unexpectedly here. But no one ever gets an open invitation to stay the night by my house. Only person that's probably got an open invitation to stay the night by my house is probably kids. So I'm never going to say no to my children. But, I'm not going to say, oh, hey, I want you to come. Nah. So with that being said, if you have nightstands, if you have tables in your bedroom, I know I had a full-size couch in my bedroom. You want to make sure that those things aren't cluttered. You want to make sure that you take the extra stuff off of it, because a lot of us have like cups, we have dishes, we have, you know, other things that was nearby. It's useful, but we just set it there and then we just never went back for it. So you go over to those tables and those countertops and stuff and take the stuff off of that countertop. And if it is not used on that countertop, you don't put it there. Find a place for it. This gets the clutter off of all your tabletops, which gives you more space. You might find out with your home office that you have more space for your printer if you get the table that your printer is supposed to be on cleared off. Now, once you get everything out of the one room, here's another thing. You can go to places like Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart, and you can get little hinges that have like the Gorilla double-sided tape kind of thingy that you can stick to your wall with the Velcro strips, or you can drill holes in your walls. If you own your home, doesn't matter if you drill holes in your wall. If you rent your home, you don't want to drill holes in your walls too much because that negatively impacts your security deposit. If you've been living in that place for so long that your security deposit has vanished, then don't worry about it. Drill holes in the wall. Either way it goes, you get the little hooks. And what the hooks do, the hooks work in your closet and the hooks work throughout your bedroom. For those you've seen some of those YouTubers that have the little shelf with the little sneaker on the shelf, where they have like a shoebox and then they have their shoe up on top of the shoebox, looking like a fucking Foot Locker in their bedroom. You could do the exact same shit, except you could do it with your clothes instead of doing it with your shoes. Because why do you got 38 pairs of shoes on your wall? I don't know. But if you're going to put up 32 pairs of shoes on your wall, you might as well put up 20 or 30 outfits on your wall too. All you have to do is offset them and just hang up your outfits. Now, the plus side about that style, and I used to do this when I was a kid, the plus side about that style is that you will match your entire outfit before you hang it up on the wall. So the shirt, the undershirt, the pants, the socks, sometimes the underwear or boxers or whatever that you plan on wearing with that outfit will all be on that hanger. And then you hang that hanger up on the wall. You have 5 or 10 of those. You've got the whole week's worth of outfits right there on the wall. Instead of you going into the closet trying to figure out, well, what am I going to wear? Well, shit, I'm going to grab one of these 10 outfits off the wall and I'm going to wear those this week. And then I'm going to do my laundry. And then when I do my laundry, I'm going to take the clothes that I plan on wearing again this month and I'm going to put them on the empty hangers that are on the wall, which means that the only time I'm going into my closet is getting stuff that I have not worn before this month, which is probably going to be raincoats, snow gear if you're doing wintertime. If I had a special event and I have my dress casual clothes outside of the closet, my suit's probably inside of the closet, I might go into the closet to get a suit that was not outside of the closet. If I have all of my suits outside of the closet, and I might have a getting dirty situation, and I might grab some of my old clothes, so something that's torn, stained, whatever, out of the closet, and I'll put that on to go and do something that requires me to get dirty or get messy. That is the foundation of how that scenario works, but it also makes more space. Now, in doing this, you can also hang up your laptop bag. You can put these hooks up on the walls to hold your keys, your gun holster. And I'm going to say that because, I mean, strapping. So if you've got other stuff that you want to hold up, your backpack, whatever, you got to remember the Velcro strips, that the ones that I'm recommending for you in this particular scenario probably holds up to, I want to say 50 pounds. So you could probably hang a backpack up there, but I wouldn't. I would not a backpack full of books. I wouldn't do that. But in organizing your stuff, you'd be able to hang a ton of stuff up there that would help you with organizing the rest of your room, which means that you should not have anything else inside your dirty clothes hamper that you put your dirty laundry in that you take into your laundry room. I know that me, myself, as well as I know a lot of other people that have toolboxes and other miscellaneous containers that they put in their laundry room or put in their closet or put in their garage. And that's fine to do, but you got to go through that every now and again and make sure that you don't have any unnecessary stuff in there. Take the time to wrap up any cords, roll up any hoses, and make sure that you consolidate that space to its fullest, so that if you do have something that you want to put in there or something that you want to take out of there, that it's not very difficult. This also helps with being able to find better places to put your stuff. You do this room by room. And what you come to find out is two things, is that you'll make more space in that room, but you will have more stuff that you should probably throw away in the other room, in the main living room or whatever the case may be. Now, once you've gone through each one of the bedrooms, and the smaller your apartment is, the faster that you can get this done. That's when your biggest task is, for those of you that don't like throwing stuff away. You have to take the stuff that's in the main living room, or if you manage to migrate these things into the garage, for those of you that have a garage, you now have to muster up the motivation to get rid of it. So, one of the tips that I found as far as how to get rid of stuff, bring everything outside. If you can't find a place for it in the house, leave it outside. Somebody will take it. I understand that does cause clutter in your apartment, and it does cause clutter in your driveway, and you will have to at some point grab some of that stuff and bring it back in after a certain time of day or after a certain time of night. You might be able to leave it out there for a couple days, or put a note on it that says free, so that people will see it and then walk away with it. You don't want to carry stuff out there during a rainy day, because nobody's going to take it, because everybody's avoiding the rain. They're not looking for free shit. So all of this stuff does change the way life will go for you, as far as consolidating and organizing this stuff. Now, another hack that you can have is, when you're grabbing containers that are stackable, utilizing those containers in a more effective way could actually also be more beneficial. Some of the things that I've seen that is really good is like the footstool that has the inner compartment in it, dining room tables that have compartments underneath the table. There are hooks and shelves and stuff like that you can hang on the walls in your kitchen to expand the space in your kitchen. You can do the same to expand the space in your bathroom. You're still going to find that if you don't throw the stuff away, that you'll just be relocating the stuff into other areas of the house, but you will have everything away from the average utilization space, which will also free up your common areas, which means that you will have the ability to have more space in your common areas. Now, you're going to trip over this stuff enough if you put it in the garage, to the point where you're going to be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to throw it in the back of the truck and take it out. But until you do that, you have to find a motivation to try to get the stuff, get it out of there. And that's why I said, sell it, put it up. Because the first couple times you sell some stuff, you're going to be like, oh, snap, people actually buy the stuff that I don't want. One man's trash, another man will pay for. It is what it is. So, and then if you have high taste, nice, high quality stuff in really good condition, your stuff will go faster than somebody who got their stuff given to them from somebody else, where it was pretty worn out when you received it, and it's even more worn out now that you've used it for a while. And in this particular situation, you're now in a position where you are really just getting rid of it because you don't want to fuck with it anymore. And that's when you're able to say, all right, well, it is what it is. We got it good. So in this particular situation, this is why I say, try to find ways to, and you got to take time out of your day for this. So one of the hacks that I would have about this is, and it's not really a hack, it's just prioritization, is that you set an alarm for yourself where you're going to say that for 1 hour out of the day, one day out of the week, on your day off probably, that you are going to do, and you're going to say a minimum of. So you're going to set the time as when you're going to start, but you're not going to set a time as when you're going to finish. But you're going to do at least an hour. And what you want to do is you want to get in there and you want to start moving this stuff around. You want to start taking everything out. You want to start reorganizing whatever room that you're in. Now, if you're doing this on your day off, you don't have any other priorities. You don't have any other expectations. Because of this, if you get started and you dedicate yourself to an hour, muscle memory will dictate that as you accomplish cleaning one room, as you accomplish organizing one room, you will come to find out that you have the energy and motivation to do multiple rooms. And one of the other things that I've noticed about this when I've done this with people before is that typically you start in one room, you don't even finish the first room, you just start moving stuff all over the house. And when you do that, you end up saying, well, I got to finish all of these rooms because I can't just stop and this room is half done, this room is half done, and that room is half done. I try to say focus on just one room at a time. Maybe start all the way deep in the bathroom. If you got a bathroom inside of the bedroom, take everything out of the bathroom, find a place for it. First of all, if you take everything out, look, there it skipped again. You take everything out and then clean the surface areas of that room and then put stuff back neatly. You're going to find that half the stuff you took out of there, you don't want to put back in there because now it's clean. Now it's organized, which means that stuff doesn't have a place in that room. Then you go to whatever pantry, closet, whatever that you got like that. You take everything out of that, you clean that up, and then you start trying to organize the stuff there. And when you're doing that, you're going to find that some stuff you're not going to want to put back in there because now that is organized. There's a psychological trigger there where you're like, yeah, I'm not going to double work myself by taking everything out, put it back in there. I'm going to take everything out and I'm only going to put back a certain quantity of stuff so that this location is neat. Now, as you do this throughout the house, you'll come to find out that 40-50% of your house, the first time you do this, is going to get reorganized. Then you're going to have a whole bunch of stuff that you got to find another place for or get rid of it. As you migrate this stuff, I'm going to tell you, it's going to end up either in the backyard or it's going to end up in the front yard. But one of the two directions is going to go because you're not going to leave it all in the living room and you're not going to put it all back into the room. Now, once you discover that there's certain things, broken stuff that you kept, you thought you were going to fix, but you don't have the time or the energy to do it, you're just going to throw it away. Stuff that doesn't work anymore. You thought that it was going to work when you put it up in storage and you tried it, you tested it out, it doesn't work, you're just going to throw it away. This is the perfect time to rotate out your clothes because if you have nice clothes that got damaged, you can keep those damaged clothes as throwaway stuff that you can utilize to get dirt, mud, blood, everything else on and not have to worry about messing up your nice stuff. Because when we were kids, we had a thing called our school clothes and our play clothes, our church clothes and our play clothes, our school clothes and our church clothes. Our church clothes was only worn on Sunday, and that was our best of our best. I don't know why, that's what people do. But then our school clothes was stuff that we couldn't wear to church. That's the stuff that we wore to school, and that was the second best of the best. Our play clothes was the stuff that got messed up at either church or school, and that's the stuff that we go out and play with. So we still, if we have a nice wardrobe, if you've got ink stains on it because you didn't take an ink pen out of it, or if you've got blood stains on it or rips on it or something like that because something happened one day the last time you was wearing that outfit, you're keeping that as play clothes. That is the clothes that you're going to use if somebody asks you to paint something, if you decide to build something, if you get bleach on your clothes while you're doing this particular remodeling task that I'm talking to you about. You know, all of that stuff allows you to mess that stuff up and not mess up your really nice clothes. So doing this rotation, I ended up having dress casual suits where I'm changing oil with, you know, Italian hand stitch Armani suits because, I mean, that was my old clothes. My nice clothes was in the house, but my old clothes were so prestigious that the clothes that didn't mean nothing to me meant more to somebody else watching me wear it while I'm doing stuff that they would have done in jeans and a t-shirt. Well, all our suits. So if it gets too short, if I lose too many buttons, if there's a tear in it somewhere, even if you can't see it because I know how to hide them, doesn't change the fact that I know that it's there, which means that item has less value to me as something that doesn't have rips and tears and missing buttons or stains on them. So with that being said, I would reorganize and I would take the damaged stuff and utilize that for stuff for activities that could potentially damage my stuff. Because if it's already damaged, you don't care, right? Once you crash your car, you don't really care if somebody fucks your car up after that, right? But until you crash your car, you don't want one scratch to happen on it. Those of you that got Jordans, You don't want that first scratch to happen on your Jordans, but the first time you get a scratch or a scuff on your Jordans, you be wanting to throw those Jordans away. You keep those Jordans, and then you use those Jordans to do activities that you know people are going to be stepping on your feet. So now somebody step on your feet, you ain't got to have a altercation with somebody because these are old Jordans. You don't care if they step on them. You had a scuff mark on them when you walked outside. You know what I'm saying? And with problem solving, but it allows you to recycle your own stuff until your stuff is no longer usable for you. Then you can give it away, donate it, throw it away, whatever the case may be, because you no longer have any value to it. Now, everything else when you throw out all the ripped stuff, you throw out the stuff with the missing buttons that can't be repaired, you throw away all of the completely devalued stuff. You got plenty of space for all of the stuff that you actually have value for, all of the stuff that you plan on using, all of the stuff that you'll find stuff that you've been looking for because you're reorganizing the whole house. So this is a very, very, very fantastic way to go about doing this. And as a result, it is highly important that you take the time to not only enjoy yourself while you do this, but take a trip down memory lane, because guess what? That gives you even more motivation to keep going, because now, depending on how much stuff you have in your house, you're actually sitting over here wondering, I wonder what else I still got in here. So now you're like a kid doing an Easter egg hunt. You're going through the house, reorganizing your house, but you're looking through stuff to find time. What do they call those? Time chests, where it's time capsules, where like moments in time where this thing was really important to you and you lost it in your house, and now you found it because you're reorganizing your house, and now you're like, oh, I remember such and such time. That might have sentimental value. You might keep that. But if it came from your ex, you might be like, oh man, that so and so, and then you're gonna throw it out. Spring cleaning. You know that the more relationships you have, the more stuff that you keep in your house from your ex. You see this shit on the TV where when people break up, they come back and they get their stuff. That is not true. When people don't want you no more, they leave and they never come back. And they do not come back for anything that they left behind. The only time people come back for their stuff is because their stuff is the excuse for them to come back. So they're using the fact that I'm coming to get my stuff so that they can come back and have a conversation with you where they're not going to work out the issue. They're not going to show you the improvement in the error of their ways. They're just going to try to negotiate a scenario where you guys get back together again inadvertently in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's a one-night stand, whether they end up staying a night and then for some reason they don't leave the next day and y'all are back in a relationship without ever verbally confirming it. That's what coming back to get my stuff is for. So if you don't take their stuff and throw it in the trash when y'all broke up, now that you're cleaning up your house, everything that came from an ex, just get rid of it. Unless it serves an actual purpose in what you are doing, get rid of it. Now, as you're getting rid of their stuff out of your house, you will have more room for your stuff in your house. The other thing and this is like a really massive life hack, not just a decoration hack. The more stuff that you get rid of from your past, from your exes, the less of your past relationship identities exist in your house. So if you are moving on and you're in a new relationship, or you end up in a new relationship after this massive spring cleaning scenario, you are not going to have the new person coming over to the house saying, oh, this is nice. And then you say where you got it from, where your response is, I got it from my ex. The fact is, when somebody compliments something that you still possess from your ex, regardless of how you validate that, I greatly appreciate the likes. Keep doing that. Also, make sure that you smash that heart button so that we can get more people to come and look at the show. But thank you very much. The fact that you're holding on to something from your ex shows that you haven't let go. And that's something that is very interesting that people don't really think about, is that even if you're not thinking about your ex, even if you have not thought about your ex since your ex left, The fact is that if you have stuff in your house, especially if it has a place in your house from your ex, that means that you have not fully let your ex go. So if you've got 8 or 9 different exes and you've got 12 or 15 things throughout your house from all of your exes, this means that they have not effectively been removed from your life emotionally and psychologically, because you look at the stuff that they get you and the warm feeling that you get from that item is the reason why that item is still there, which means that you're not actually capable of fully committing to the next person. So you're not just purging your house of junk and clutter, you're purging your emotional attachment to past engagements, you're purging your physical attachments to past engagements. You are really purging everything potentially negative or related to something potentially negative out of your life by getting rid of all of the stuff from all of your exes. And that is one of the main reasons why going through your house and decluttering your house is fantastic. And once you get everything cleared out, I can tell you, it ain't going to stay that way if you're a busy person, but it'll stay that way for 2 or 3 months before you start just putting stuff anywhere. And one of the better things about having a higher value woman is if you as a man spring clean your house, you have a higher value woman, she will keep it that way. If you as a woman spring clean the house and you have a reasonably good husband, he's not going to mess that up. He's going to maintain the level that you set up. Now, that don't mean that just because you did the laundry that he's going to do the laundry. It just means that if he didn't organize the kitchen a certain way, he's not going to start putting dishes in all kinds of random places. If you put the plates on the top shelf, he's going to put the plates back on the top shelf. If you hang the cups up over the kitchen window, he's going to hang the cups up over the kitchen window. That's teamwork. But it takes one of y'all, if not both of y'all, if y'all not going to do it together, it takes one of y'all to start doing the work. And then the other person will back that up. And that's when you start having, and that's one of the biggest things that I talk about on this podcast on a lot of the times is when we're looking for a partner that's going to back that up. So if this is what I want to do, my partner, she is supposed to back that up. Ladies want a man that is going to back it up on a regular basis, where if she wants to do something, that he's agreeing with her and he's going to do what she wants done. But we ask for that reciprocation, and they're not willing to get it a lot of the times, where we want to accomplish something and she's going to back up our desires by making sure that we accomplish that, by aiding us in accomplishing that. So when you're dealing with this spring cleaning situation, you want to make sure that you got, if you're doing this with a partner, that you got the kind of partner that's going to aid you in cleaning it up. You don't want to have, and look, I don't recommend that you do this with your friends. And the reason why I don't recommend that you do this with your friends, because you've got stuff that you don't want your friends to know about. They're going to start asking you questions. You don't want that. You don't want them. And then on top of that, if you don't have stuff that you're embarrassed about, if you don't have stuff that you just don't want people to know about, even if you're not embarrassed about it, you don't want that friend that said they were going to come over and help you move shit, and they're watching you move everything, talking about moral support. Fuck out of here. I could have paid a moving crew to do this if you're going to stand here and watch. Like, you were supposed to be lifting shit. So you're supposed to lift the same amount of shit that I lift, because that's what you're here for. You're here to help me. So half the shit I pick up, you pick up. That's what we're supposed to be doing right now. So when that's not happening, that's when I'm like, all right, you shouldn't have came, because you're not helping is demoralizing me from getting my own shit done. So you can go home. I'll do this by myself. So that's why I say don't do the spring cleaning thing with your friends. But if your friends is like, oh, hey, what you doing? And you're like, hey, I'm reorganizing my house. If you got some buddies that want to come and wash your house and shampoo your carpets and everything like that, hey, that is when I'm going to say, yes, I'm going to reorganize my shit. But if you want to steam clean my carpets, if you want to paint my walls, if you want to dust my ceiling and wash up my ceiling fans and everything like that, then by all means, yes, that's exactly what you can do. But if you're not coming over here to do that, I ain't got no time for company today, because my objective is to organize this house or organize this apartment. See what I'm saying? So doing this does help. And then another thing, for everybody who has a computer, everybody who has a cell phone, you can spring clean your cell phone and you can spring clean your laptop. Literally go through your database, find those photos, find those screenshots, and if they do not hold relevance today, delete them. You can also go through and find compromising photos that you don't want anybody to find a validation in. Delete those. So if you got some dick pics or something like that lying around, I use those as identification purposes. So when they want to say, who are you? Dick pic. All right. So either way, you want to make sure you don't want people to find those, delete them or archive them. If you've got a Samsung S23 Ultra or Samsung S24 Ultra, or even if you still got the Samsung S20 or Samsung S22, you can create a folder with a lock on it where you can take all of your confidential stuff and throw it in there, lock it, and then every other variation of it, delete it off your phone. That way, nobody can scroll through and look at shit that you don't want them to see because you've got a certain lock. And that lock is going to be password protected, which means that you do not want to use the same password that you use to unlock your phone. If you're going to have your girlfriend go through your phone, you don't want to have a universal password. So that folder is restricted. She's going to be, oh, well, what's this? Not your business. Transparency. Fuck that. Transparency is not good in a relationship when they're looking for trouble. Transparency is good when they are trying to help you. So I have no problem with unlocking my phone if you're going to answer the phone, if you're going to make calls for me, if you're going to text the people back appropriately, not disrespecting nobody or making me look bad, if you're going to aid me in making money, if you're going to maintain appointments, if my doctor is calling me and I'm asleep and you take the call so that you give me the message when I wake up, that is when transparency is good. I should not have to hide my basic needs from you. But the excuse of transparency is a narcissistic manipulation tactic that a lot of women use in order to gain access to their man's personal life so that they can track their man and stalk their man and control their man's every move. As soon as she finds something on your phone that you do not want her to find, and you don't want her to find it because when she finds it, she's going to cause a problem for it. Not because you had something to hide, because you don't want to deal with the bullshit that's going to come about from her finding it. That's the stuff you purge from your phone. But that's also the reason why you're not 100% transparent. So if you've got photos, if you've got video, if you've got stuff that you want to keep, memories that you want to have that you don't want to have to be prosecuted for by your girlfriend, don't get an iPhone because almost all girls got iPhones and they be dogging you out with them iPhones. Get you a Samsung, put that bitch in a lock. It's called a secure folder. And when you create that secure folder, it's going to create a password. Then you dump everything into that secure folder that you don't want her to have. And then everything else that has no value to it, delete it off your phone. Which means when she goes through your phone, there's no photos, no videos from anywhere for her to entertain herself with. Also, deleting your cache on your computer, on your cell phone, and you can do this on your computer too. You save file, lock it up, they can't access it. Everything else, purge it. Then you have what was I about to tell you guys? You're deleting the cache. Also, go into your recycling bin on your Android and on your laptop. Purge your recycling bin, because when you hit delete, it doesn't just throw it away. It puts it into a recycling bin. It puts it into a trash can. You go into that trash can, go into that recycling bin, delete it from that trash can, delete it from that recycling bin. That way it cannot be recovered ever from that device. And it's gone. If you've got a cloud, go into your cloud, purge it from the cloud as well. Because everybody with a Gmail account, if you've got stuff on your cell phone, it's typically copied into your Gmail account. So you go into your Gmail account, purge it out of there too. That way there's no information there. I typically go back 5 years and I just get rid of everything more than 5 years ago, because if it's not valid to me in the last 5 years, it's not valid. Most business things, the statute of limitations is pretty much the longest I'm going to hold something. So typically 2 to 4 years is a statute of limitations in most states, or 1 to 5 years, depending on what it is. And that's why I said, if it's older than 5 years, I'm going to purge it, because I can't do anything with it. I can't get reparations. It can't get any type of rectification for it. If that doesn't spark a positive memory that I can reminisce with and have a positive feeling with, then purge it from my phone. And that frees up memory space on your phone. It frees up memory space on your computer, which allows your phone and your computer to function faster. So we're not just spring cleaning the house now, y'all. We're spring cleaning all of our technological devices. Purge your Google search history. Look, I got y'all real quick. Since we're doing some spring cleaning, let's just set up some safety. Not only delete your history, but turn off the tracking on your history. Do not let it store your history onto your devices. That way, you don't have to worry about deleting your history because your history is never saved. Do not sync it to shit. Just disconnect everything. What that does, if you want to go find something, you might have to retype it into the search bar. Who gives a fuck? Your search history, not saving to your device. Nobody can just get on your device and then just start scrolling through your search history. You're thinking that they're being productive on the device, but they're scrolling through your search history, seeing what you be looking at while you're not with them. Delete all that, turn it off so that it does not store that. There's no search history. Now, whatever they want to find out about you, they got to talk to you in person. If you feel like telling it to them, you'll tell it to them. This means that everybody understands that we have open communication and the transparency of me telling you what I feel comfortable about you knowing versus what I would prefer that you don't know. And then you respect my right to privacy with my ability to be transparent, because nobody is ever 100% transparent. And typically the women that want a man to be 100% transparent are the type of women that have come out of negative relationships where the lack of transparency led to infidelity, and the lack of trust from that last relationship is now being negatively influenced into your current relationship, which now has you jumping through hoops, proving that you're not a bad guy by putting yourself on the spotlight at all times. I have to prove that I'm not dishonest by not having any privacy and not having any rights. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing as men. You are not supposed to sacrifice your happiness because of her lack of confidence in herself or her lack of trust or faith in you because of any traumas that she received in the past. Likewise, fellas, we're not supposed to do the same thing with her, which means that we have to fix ourselves. And that's why I thought that today would be a great day for us to start talking about decluttering the house. Because if we declutter the house, guess what we can do with decluttering the house? We can tactically set up our house based on the hacks that I was giving you yesterday. We can put up more effective decorations around the house that we can utilize to give us better vantage points when we're under attack. We can utilize better accessibility, because instead of us having a mountain of crap blocking the window, we actually can clear that window. Now we have an extra exit. You can do things in your house or your apartment more than what you were able to do when your house or your apartment was over cluttered or over occupied with stuff. One of the other things that's actually good for you is keeping your garage cleaned out, getting your garage cleaned out. If you keep your garage cleaned out, then you can put your car in your garage and then the repo man doesn't take your car. So it's always good. It's always good to put everything where you need it to be. And if you put everything where you need it to be, then you're in the clear. And you don't have to worry about not having a place to put your car. Some of you guys that have man caves. I thought about man caves because I did a throwback of the man cave show that we did. And we've been having shorts run on YouTube about the man cave. And you're going to start seeing some shorts run on TikTok about the man cave. And if you got a man cave, fellas, what you typically do is you take all of your most valuable possessions, you put them into your man cave. But now your man cave is overly cluttered with all of the stuff that you want to have in your house. Until you work that out with your relationship, that's going to be a thing that you got to deal with. I personally prefer that you spread your stuff throughout your house, because your house should represent you and your girlfriend or your wife, not just her. We do sacrifice ourselves as men, and we sacrifice our sanctuary to allow her to find peace and safety in the house. And we relinquish all of our authority and control over our house so that she can feel safe in our house. But it's not about just her feeling safe. It's not a just her situation. It's an us situation. And in an us situation, I should not feel uncomfortable in my own house because you have dominated my house. So we need to try to find an equal balance where your likes is in my house, but my stuff and my likes is also in my house. So it reflects the both of us. A lot of us take a lot of the stuff that we can't bear to part. We put it into storage. Storage is a good way to keep your stuff, but storage also costs you unnecessary money. You're depending on where you store your stuff and how much storage costs in your city or state. You could be paying anywhere between $25 to $50 a month for storage to as high as $300-400 a month for storage. When you think about the amount of money that you're spending on storage every month for stuff that you never look at, you could literally get rid of everything that's in your storage, save that money, and recalibrate your budget to either be able to pay off more debt or invest in more stuff. One of the two that you could do. Me personally, I believe that since paying off more debt, it doesn't really benefit you. It does not improve your credit score to the way you think it does. And it doesn't really build you a level of success going forward for the future. And I recognize that after a certain period of time, certain debt is uncollectible, which means that the bill collector that you owe money to can't come for that particular amount anymore. And after 7 years, it's no longer reflected on your credit score, which means that the negative marks that are made on your credit score for that debt you couldn't afford to pay for 8 years ago is not on your credit score anymore. So instead of you working towards trying to pay off all of these interest rates and everything else for stuff that you owe, I'm going to tell you right now, you should just let everything you can't afford to pay go into collections and just say, fuck it. And then turn back around and take the money that you're getting and start establishing lines of secure credit with the extra money that you have, and then utilize the secured credit to build you unsecured credit, and then use the unsecured credit to get you the stuff that you want to get. The other way that you can go about doing that, instead of going out and chasing credit, you could actually turn around and chase real estate. Like we've been talking throughout the last month about real estate, you can actually invest in certain things like tax liens and stuff to that effect, which will utilize your small quantities of money in big ways and get you back decent quantities of returns. Then you can use those returns to reinvest in something larger. And since you're investing your money into something larger, it doesn't matter if you have debt, because eventually the debt's going to disappear, whether you pay it or not. And you can actually take the money that you're wasting on your storage unit at $300 a month and invest that into a stock, bond, mutuality, Bitcoin, or real estate, and build your $300 a month wealth, because that's $3,000 in 10 months. So what, $3,600 a year that you could be investing in something. And if you're drawing back 10% interest, you're drawing back almost $360 a year interest on every $3,600 that you put in, which means that you're almost $4,000 every second year of the $3,600 extra dollars, which means that 2 years, you got $8,000 in the bank. 3 years, you got $12,000. Do you see how the money stacks up? Because you're gaining the interest on the money that you put in there, and you're not taking the principal back out, but you're continuously adding money to it. 4 years, you're at $16,000. 5 years, you're at $20,000. And all it's doing is not putting that $300 a month on your storage unit. Get rid of the stuff that's in your storage unit and put that $300 a month into something that's drawing back 10% interest. And 10% interest is doable with stocks and bonds and trades and stuff to that effect. Stocks and bonds is one way to do it. Real estate is another way to do it. And then Bitcoin is another way to do it. And if you're drawing back 80% returns on Bitcoin, then you're getting back $80 off of every $100 that you invest. So if you put in $4,000, you're getting what, $3,200 back, because you're gonna get $800 off of every $1,000 that you put in there, right? Because that's 80%, which means that you'll get $3,600 back off of every $4,000 that you put. $3,200 back off of every $4,000 that you put into Bitcoin, which means that you're every year you're multiplying your money by $7,000 or $8,000, which means that you're now sitting on in 3 years $21,000, which means that in 5 years you're looking at almost $40,000 that you would have made by taking $300 a month that you was wasting on a storage unit and you invested in Bitcoin with 80% return. And until you cash out on the Bitcoin, you're not actually being taxed on that shit. You're only taxed on it when you actually receive the money, not just because the value of the stock went up. You actually only taxed on it when you actually receive the money. So you can put it up there, leave it up there, and that can be your emergency fund. And then when COVID 2.0 happens, then you can cash out on all of your stocks and bonds and have a year's worth of good living there. This is one of the things that we explain a lot of the times but the ability to make money for you requires you to first get rid of everything that's holding you back, get everything that's weighing you down, get rid of that, get all the negative thoughts out of your head, get rid of the past. Getting rid of the past is important so that you can start focusing on the future, and then making space in your present for your future by dispersing and purging your past allows you to have more opportunity for success in the future, because now if you're only focusing on what happened, what's going to happen, and you're not dwelling on what already happened, because you can't change the past, you can only impact the future. Focus on what's going to happen. Now you can make better decisions. You're cleaning out your house gives you fresher air. You don't have anything harboring odors. You have get rid of all of the dust. You're able to. You're gonna be amazed when you declutter your house. For some reason, more light shines into your house because you got all the crap out of it. You got the bad vibes out of your house. Your house gets brighter. You get rid of the gloominess of depression out of your house, and your house gets brighter. And then you feel like you can breathe again. You can, for some reason, you have more fluid in your lungs because you're just like filled with peace and tranquility because you got rid of all the negative shit. So I tell y'all this because I feel like this is one of the ways that we start making it make sense for us, and we start making things better for us. And I encourage us to continue to tread on this particular style of self-improvement, because once you organize yourself, you make enough space for yourself, you get all the negative stuff out of your house for yourself, you also can find, if there is any, space for a special somebody. So if you've got enough closet space for 2 people, you got space for a second person. You ain't got enough closet space for 2 people, there ain't no room in my life for you. So until I can afford to get a bigger space that can harbor 2 people, gonna stay single and focus on getting this money up, because it's good for her to have her own place and pay for her own place, and y'all see each other recreationally. Y'all can see each other every week. Y'all can see each other every day. Y'all can take turns spending nights at each other's houses, where you're not always at your house and she's not always at her house. Either way it goes, you ain't got enough room at your house for her to be leaving stuff at your house. She talking about, oh, I can leave my toothbrush. No, I ain't got no room in my bathroom for your toothbrush. Take everything with you. Why? Because ain't nobody about to leave 2 or 3 socks and a toothbrush in my house and then start talking about I live there. Fuck out of here. Y'all got to pay attention to these laws in the United States. Now, if you leave enough stuff at my house for 30 days, you live at my house. If you collect mail at my house, you live at my house. So what you got to do to keep yourself safe is you got to say, nope, you cannot leave nothing here, and you cannot collect mail here. You cannot collect packages here. And yeah, it's going to seem a little bit unsensitive. Yeah, it's going to seem a little bit harsh, but you have to understand that as men, we have to protect ourselves. We have to protect our resources. We have to protect our ability to thrive, because the women that we encounter will benefit from us because we will give them everything that they don't take from us. But we are not finding women that are giving us stuff. We are not finding women that are just building us up. So we as men have to protect ourselves. Every time we get involved or encounter somebody else, we have to be careful. with what we do and what we allow them to do, because every time we give them too much room, they have plenty of opportunity to destroy us, to break us down, and to make us have to start over. And the older you get, the harder it is to start over. So I strongly recommend that, yes, setting extra non-negotiable expectations for behavior in the beginning, being more restrictive in the beginning, having more requirements to be accomplished before allowances are being dispersed is beneficial for you, because if she's not willing to do it when you first get together, she's not going to be willing to do it when y'all are dating. And whatever she was allowed to do the first 3 months of your relationship, she's going to expect to be able to do it in tandem the next 9 months. Anything that you allowed her to do while y'all were dating, she is going to be reckless about when y'all are married. People do not get better when they get married, they get worse. You put your best, most people put their best foot forward from day one. And the person that they really are is hidden by their best efforts. And the more comfortable they get with you, the less they give a shit about their best efforts, which means that the true them comes out down the line, which means that you will find out what kind of person you met 2 years ago, 2 years into your relationship. And if you don't like it now, it's a little bit too late. The other issue that you're going to have is that if you tolerate certain things, thinking that once y'all get married, things are going to change and improve, that is not the case, because marriage does not change you. It changes your tax status, but it does not change you. It does not change your decision-making process. Getting married is not like leveling up with a Pokemon. You are not going to evolve into the married form of yourself where you have new abilities and new skill sets and new durability and HP. When you get married and you jump the broom, you go from the left side of the room to the right side of the room. You're in the same room and you're the same person that you was when you was on the left side of the room. So you cannot say that when you get married to somebody that person is going to change and become better because you married them. If anything, because they got comfortable with you, they're secure in their scenario, they believe that you're not going to go anywhere. Or if it's a female and she knows that if y'all get a divorce and she's going to get half of your shit, now the demon comes out. That is going to be what you have to look forward to. So you do not want to allow yourself to be too flexible, too lenient, too open-minded and observant in this scenario, because it is not going to benefit you in the long run. Because if you delay your assertive behavior in the long run, you will now have to justify why you allowed this unacceptable behavior to exist for so long. And now that you are now in defense mode because they're devaluing your ability to be this assertive by saying, well, you ain't complaining about it before. Well, I'm complaining about it now. And now I'm saying not only am I complaining about it, I'm saying that the change is going to be made. Either you're going to change or I'm going to change from having you here. And now you're looking at a deal breaker where you have to start over with a new relationship because your last relationship tried to rebel against your authority because they didn't want to respect you to begin with, which means that once you started putting your foot down and telling them what to do, that they bailed because they don't like following instructions. But when shit goes south and they need somebody to fix some shit, they're going to come to you and they're going to expect you to pay to fix the crash car, to pay for $2,000 worth of stuff that they touched in the mall, to pay for their hair, to pay for their nails. But they're not going to follow your instructions when you say, hey, don't go in here, don't touch nothing that you ain't got no money for because I ain't paying for nothing. You know, these things that do not occur. So you have to remember that if you are assertive from day one, you organize your house, you purge your house of all the negative stuff that you had in there, you purge your house of all of the stuff that does not benefit you, that you have no value in. You detach yourself from any emotional attachments to any exes and any stuff that your exes left with you. If it has monetary value to it, sell it, make some money off of it. Move on from the past. And then do not get into a relationship into the future with somebody that is going to clutter your life up, that is going to bring emotional baggage, take up too much space, physically or emotionally. Somebody that is going to weigh you down and then slow you down from your ability to achieve your agenda, to achieve your objective. If your house has gotten brighter because you got rid of all the negativity, you do not want to move negativity into your house and bring back dark clouds. You want to make sure that you keep everything in a bright and shiny view. Your house is supposed to be your sanctuary. Your house is supposed to be your castle, whether it's a 600 square foot apartment or a 3,000 square foot house. It is supposed to be your sanctuary. So men, for those of you that have man caves, no man should be hiding in his castle from the queen of the castle. No man, no king is supposed to be hiding in his castle from the royal family. Your whole house is supposed to be your man cave. And if she ain't got enough respect for you, where you got to go hide in a certain room to get away from the demon, you need to purge that demon. Get you an exorcist, exorcise the house, get rid of the demon, get her out of there so that you have your peace, because your peace is the most important thing to you. Your peace is the most important thing to your success, and your future needs to be better than your past. So if all of the negative things that you can remember, you want to get rid of those negative thoughts and focus on not having those negative experiences going forward. So you want to make sure, and that's why I said it so many times, you want to make sure that today you're doing effort. All of the effort that you're putting in is to make your later greater. Your now is in the past, because as we talk, your present is in the past. Your future is becoming your present. You want to put effort in now to make sure that your future is better than your past, which means that you have to get rid of your past, get rid of your baggage, get rid of the things that are holding you down and holding you back, so that you have the ability to make things work for your future. Because the more you focus for your future, the more that you line things up for your future, the better things will be. So if you've got a 5-year plan and you're working towards that 5-year plan, things might be tough right now, but in 5 years, things won't be tough. If you've got a 10-year plan, you're working towards that 10-year plan, that whole 10 years that you're working towards that 10-year plan, when you get to where you're trying to get to, things are going to be easy. You want to make sure that you set yourself up for success. It's not going to be an overnight deal. You're not going to be able to turn the page and all of a sudden you're rich. You're not going to be able to change months to the same year and all of a sudden you're a millionaire. It's not going to happen. It does happen to some people, but it doesn't happen to enough people to say that on a regular basis that you can expect to make one change in your life and go from struggling to get money to having more money than you can afford to spend. But if you make one change in your life today, and one change in your life tomorrow, and one change in your life the next day, and keep doing that until all the changes that are needed to be made in your life are made to where you are now 100% successful, 80% successful, with a 20% write-off. You want to make sure that you get there. And you don't want to have anything distracting you. You don't want to have anything holding you back from accomplishing that. So we went from, y'all know that we go talking about this, that, and everything in between. So we went from talking about decluttering your house to decluttering your phone, decluttering your laptop, to decluttering your lifestyle. I told y'all this was important. Now, that's all I'm going to give y'all for this afternoon. I'm going to, oh, look at that. We got Tim. Why you? I'm going to do this real quick before we wrap things up. Why is your name got ass in the name? I just want to know about that. I see life is good. That person is happy. Dead Killer Grim. I understand that because that's a gamer tag. But like, y'all got some really ridiculous. Who is Golf Juju? Come on, man. What is Golf Juju supposed to be? Ideal. Oh no, that's Ida Allen. And you got it spelled like Ida Alien. What kind of nonsense? And Stephanie's a freak. Stephanie's got 69 in her name. Y'all, you already know that. I just really had to ask that real quick before I wrapped up the show, because like y'all over here on TikTok, y'all coming up here with some really, really wild, like, hold on, let me see if I got another one. Worthy. That's a lie. Mama. Yeah, you somebody's mama. Probably got 4 kids. Maury. Okay. Normal name. But y'all remember Maury Povich. Tokyo. Why would you name yourself after a country? Robbie Miller. Normal name. That guy, 70 years old. 65 at best. Dim TikTok. I'm done. All right. Yeah, I gotta tell you, they got some reckless ass names over here on TikTok, boy. You noticed that on YouTube they got some primarily normal names. I understand the gamer tags from TikTok because TikTok was a forum that was primarily for gamers. Twitch was a forum primarily for gamers, and TikTok started aiming for gamers. And the reason why TikTok is aiming for gamers is because the majority of their platform is the Gen Zs, and the majority of the Gen Zs are gamers. So if you're creating a podcast and you're a gamer and you're aiming for getting more views, 18 to 25 or 16 to 18, video games is going to be the market for TikTok. So that's what they decided to do. They decided to make it easier for gamers to have gamer platforms. So some of these gamer tags, which hilarious is what people were thinking when they decided to make this, but what was you thinking besides trying to be funny? Because one day we're gonna do a show about how to build yourself a professional brand, and not necessarily a professional business brand, but a professional brand for your own personal identity. Because if you carry yourself with self-respect on a regular basis, even when people are not paying, even when you are not paying attention to other people, if other people are paying attention to you, if you carry yourself to a certain level of self-respect and a certain level of dignity with a certain level of morale, you will end up attracting more successful people to you because they admire you, because from afar they was observing you being successful, and then they want to observe you or want to join you in your success. Leaders do not become leaders because they took over a tribe and started leading it. Leaders became leaders because they started doing it a certain way. Everybody else saw it, they liked it, and they started following your lead and learning how to do it too. So you have to understand that we're not going to be successful by just following the lead of somebody else and say that we're going to be independent and successful on our own. You can follow the lead of somebody with a good idea, and if that good idea is profitable for everybody that's going in the same direction, that all of y'all can get something out of the deal. But if you're putting in the manual labor for the other person that you're following to reap the financial rewards, then you're putting in all the effort and he's getting all the reward from it. You're not getting as much from it as they're getting. Now, if you're in the kind of deal where if your efforts will get you more out of the pot than the person that's not putting in effort, but the person that is putting in effort will get something out of the pot without having to work because they put up the money, then that's fine. But you do not want to be in a situation where you're sacrificing yourself for the sake of somebody else's ideas, dreams, and ambitions. Because if it's not something that you wanted to do with your life, whether it makes money or not, you don't want to do it because you're not going to be happy with it. And if you're not happy with it, you're not going to give it your best efforts. And if you're not going to give it your best efforts, then you're not going to be as successful as you could have been if you would have been trying harder, because that's what you really wanted to do. And you were proud of your results, which meant that your overall success would have been much more effective. This is one of the reasons why I tell you guys, start by purging, start by restructuralizing, and then we can move forward with building things up. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out with TikTok real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying, ladies, as long as this situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking y'all to make it make sense. So ladies, make it make sense. And as I sign out of TikTok, for the rest of you guys that are following me on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter, I really appreciate you guys showing me love today. Oh, we had more people follow us on TikTok than before. Why do they have ESPN Sports UFC up here? Football season is taking over, y'all. We got UFC and Madden NFL that seems to be running the show for podcasts these days. So we're going to figure out what's going on. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for jumping into the show and showing us love. It is always a good thing. I'm going to be here. I'm going to let y'all know because the modem still hasn't gotten here. I know you weren't here when I talked about it at the beginning of the show. So since you're here right now, Red, I didn't get the modem from Friday. So the one thing I haven't gotten here yet. And then yesterday evening, it was around 4 or 5 o'clock yesterday evening, they set me up with a newer router than the one that I have. So the newer router also comes with a larger discount than the older router. So what happens is that regardless of whether or not I like the replacement router that they sent me as the warranty exchange, I'm actually just going to have to accept the newer router so I can get a $10 discount on the internet. Now with the $10 discount on the internet, instead of me paying $60 a month for the internet, with the $20 discount having me pay $40 a month total for the internet, Now they're giving me a $30 discount for the $60 internet. So now we'll be paying $30 for the internet, for the same internet, where it is still supposed to be even faster internet speed. So I'm able to clap on that. But the device hasn't gotten here yet. The new one or the replacement one, neither one's gotten here. And that's why today we were flaking out, because I'm running out of bandwidth on my cell phones. The service started on the 6th of September, and it ain't going to last 30 days. It's just about burnt out. So because of that, I got to get that modem in, and then I got to hook up that high-speed internet. And once I hook up that high-speed internet, I have to get back into the routine, which I do believe tomorrow we're going to be talking about developing good routines and sticking to them. So got to redevelop that routine, because it takes 66 days to develop a habit, and then you have to maintain that habit by sticking to it. And it's hard to get started. The first couple of weeks is hard to do, and then the second and third week is when you're at burnout, and it's hard for you to keep going. But once you overcome that hurdle of durability and resistance, that's when you're able to build yourself a habit that you will stick to and be dedicated to, so that you won't falter from it. And once you get there, we'll be better. So that's one of the things we're going to be working on, is trying to build a new work habit around the faster speeds on my internet. And once I'm able to do that, because I got some affiliate people that I'm talking to right now, and I'm trying to see if I can get some contracts going. And with those affiliate contracts, you're gonna see, not during a live, but you will see on the YouTube page some affiliate videos. I might upload those affiliate videos onto TikTok as well. But you'll at least see the affiliate videos on YouTube. And those affiliate videos will give me a little bit of compensation to help pay for the platform if I get product from some of my affiliate marketing situations where somebody wants me to promote their product. Then I will bring that stuff to the live to show y'all, look at all the free stuff I'm getting. It ain't gonna mean a lot of stuff, but whatever little nitpicky thing that I get as part of being a micro influencer, because I'm a micro influencer. I have to update that number. It is not 13.5. We are actually at about 14.1 right now. So tomorrow you'll see it updated. I forgot to update it before I started the show because I was taking care of a lot of things. But fact is, we're at about 14,100 subscribers, so we're getting there. But we're still in the realm of a micro influencer, because I do believe it's either Nano. I think Nano is around 100,000, and then mega influencers are like 1 million. So once we get to around 100,000, that's when we're going to start having a lot of affiliate contracts coming in. So it's a slow progression, and we're getting a little bit at a time. I want to say about 2,000-3,000 extra subscribers a month. So it's going to take us quite a while to get to where we're trying to go. Not to mention, we got different topics all the time, so we're not niche based. We're a little bit of everything about a little bit of everything. So, sometimes we have a rotation of followers. So it's going to take us a little bit more time to get where we got to go. But once we get there, you'll start seeing a world of difference with the podcast, because the more I have to invest in it, the more I can get done. So we got to get the frame rates up, got to get the quality, the pixelation better, and then maybe get some picture-in-picture up in here, stuff to that effect. I'm going to work some things out. I haven't taken the time to play around with what I can do with the podcast, because my internet's been down for a couple of weeks. So I try to preserve the available space that I have for the internet, whatever little bit of emergency internet I'm using, so that I can live stream. Because not only do I live stream with you guys, I also live stream to teach people, because I'm also a teacher when I'm not a podcaster. So I'm not just making it make sense on the show. I'm actually making it make sense as a career. Which, by the way, I got one of my students, their mom was talking to me before the show. People in Hong Kong are awesome, because the mom was telling me all the stuff about her son. Her son adores me. But for some reason, these people are so nice in Hong Kong, where they just hold a conversation with their teacher like I'm their best friend, like I'm their mentor or their boyfriend or something like that. And like here in America, people don't have respect for one another like that. We talk to one another like shit, or we ignore each other. The only time we typically talk to somebody is when we need something from them. We really don't give two shits about how they're doing because we're not benefiting from them. I do it the same way. I'm not going to say that I'm different from anybody else. There are people that I disassociate with because I'm not making money with them, and they are a financial burden to me. So, but I don't reach out to them only because I want something from them. I typically reach out to them to make sure that they don't need anything from me, because I know how much it sucks to have people only contact you when they want something from you. So usually I extend myself to them to make sure that they don't need anything from me. But when I don't have anything to give, I don't reach out, because I mean, if I'm gonna call you and be like, hey, how you doing? Do you need anything? I don't want that door to open and you go, oh yeah, I need $1,000. I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So if I got $1,000, then I'm, hey, how you doing? Do you need something? Oh, I need $1,000. All right, I got you. And that way I'm not hurt, they not hurting either. I do kind of take care of my squad, but it is a financial deficit to take care of your squad, because if you are putting financial effort into other people that are not putting financial effort into you, then it's going to be harder for you to be financially successful, which is why I told y'all in previous episodes, do not be the most successful person in your network, because if you're the most successful person in your network, then that means that your resources are being shared with everybody beneath you. You need to be able to acquire resources from people above you. You need to be able to acquire effort from the people below you so that you can get more resources, so that you have more resources to share with the people below you. You need to be able to put more effort into the people above you so that you can help them get more assets, so that they can have more resources that they can utilize to get to you. It's a universal situation. You're putting into a pot that you're getting something out of. You want to put more into the pot so that there is more to get out of the pot, but you do not want to exhaust yourself and your resources when not getting reasonable equivalent reciprocation from this investment. You can break even. Sometimes you can put in more than what you get back. Sometimes you can get back more than what you put in. But you want to overall, out of the year or out of the 2 years, you kind of want to put yourself in a position to actually break even. So that's my after the show spiel, since I already logged out of TikTok. So I appreciate you guys hanging out until after I log out on YouTube and TikTok and Twitch. I appreciate you guys coming to This and That, where I'm your host, Xander, and we talk about this, that, and everything in between. I will see you guys tomorrow night. And